Hey y'all, I thought I would hop on with you guys and finish off this wreath. So, true story, I have this greenery, which is one of my favorites, but it is the cottonwood ivy in frost. Has the little white veining in it. I had it laying over on the side of my work table, and it was laying there. And then the other day I was going to use these red roses, and I ended up not using them. I don't remember what for. And so I just threw them on the end of my work table, and they were laying on the top of the greenery. And I was looking at it as I walked by, and I said, how gorgeous would that be to put these two together? So before I stop with my Valentines, because as designers, we're pretty much over Valentine, we've moved on. But before I put those away, I thought, let's make a wreath with those. So this is going to be more Valentine's-y red, but you know, it could be, could just be for somebody that likes red. Doesn't necessarily have to be Valentine's. I'm not putting hearts in it. I'm not doing any of that. I went with a fairly neutral ribbon. If I'd have had a solid red, I probably would have used the solid red, but didn't have any, so I went with this check pattern. So really that's going to be the only thing that's not red. I'm keeping it very neutral. I'm not bringing in whites or creams. Sometimes if you mix red and white, it starts to look a little Christmassy. So we're just going to keep it red. So I've already based this with my ficus. If you guys are new, you guys can check out some other tutorials we have on the website, or we would love to have you over in our private design school, where I give a little bit more detailed instruction on wreaths, centerpieces, arrangements, swags, all the things. But I would show you how to kind of do that over in the group. So we would love to have you over there. There's more information down in the description of the video, or you can go to tctcrafts.vip and get more information there. It is just a monthly. You can cancel any time, so you could just do month to month. Hop on, check us out. Hopefully you love us and want to stay. I love to design and teach over there. So I'm just mixing in, I don't remember if I already mentioned, but I'm mixing in this cottonwood with our ficus. Well, we're going to mess with our ribbon here in a little bit. I'm just going to kind of get this greened in a little bit. And then we'll fan out our loops. Going to anchor my bow with some of the smaller pieces. Y'all, I have you on a different view today, so you're going to probably see all my junk behind. Just ignore the mess back there. But I had this up on the easel, and so I just brought out my phone camera real quick and propped it up behind me. Okay, so I kind of added some of that cottonwood in there and blended it a little bit with this ficus. Before we add any more greenery, we're going to add a couple of the florals in here. So I'm just going in with these beautiful, what are these called? Tea roses. Beautiful red tea roses that we have in the shop. And I'm going to save these little leaves because I cut the stem down, because we probably can get these added back in there as filler. I've added all the florals I think I'm going to add in there. So we've got a total of 6 spaced around in different areas. I'm going to try to give our little loops here some support by going in with this ivy. Have to add a pick on it. Now, I had originally brought in some chickaboo leaves to add to this, but I really kind of want to keep it light and airy. I want to be able to kind of see in there, and I don't want to add too much. So I think we're just going to take our little rose leaves that we pulled off of our stems, and I'm maybe just going to tuck just a couple of these in here where I feel we need a little bit of coverage. But not too many. I think we're pretty good. We're gonna let that greenery just dance and sort of create the movement that we want. Let those beautiful flowers just kind of pop. Right where I can see that pick, I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of moss, just to kind of cover that silver pickup. It also helps just support it. I like how some of that ficus is just hanging over that rose. It's just kind of growing out. It's got a very garden vibe to it. Love it. I think I'm going to try to get one of these rose leaves in here by our bow. I just tucked that one right underneath that flower right there. And And I think that's it, y'all. So I'm going to let that glue dry really good. I'm going to put one more piece out here, I think, actually, before we call it a day. But I'm going to let that glue dry really good. Then I can kind of play with my bow and shape it a little bit better. I'm going to move this way. I got a lot of glue in this one spot, so the grapevine's fighting me just a little bit. But I'm going to let that glue dry, shake my bow up a little bit. Then I'm going to take and just kind of clean up my back, use a little bit of the moss, make sure all of our mechanics are hidden. And then I'll hang it up on the wall and make sure I like it, that we don't need any little tweaks. Let's see if I can get this off right here. But look at all that airiness and that movement in this wreath. Just very simplistic. Look, we used 2 greeneries, a ficus, and this cottonwood, and then we tucked in some of those rose leaves that came off of our florals, so no extra greenery there. Just added the red roses and a bow and called it a day. So really easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Not so much a tutorial, but just watching me design. Y'all, if I can get it back on here. But if you are interested in tutorials or learning how to design wreaths, swag, centerpieces, arrangements, all the things, we do have our private design school open. It is tctcrafts.vip, or on our website, you'll find information there. We would love to have you join our group. We have a private little Facebook group, and we do tutorials, and I have more detailed instructions on how to design. So until next time, bye y'all.